Hello, and welcome to this collective and timeless reading. This is E-Star Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a reading for the collective to see what messages that our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels would like to bring in for us today. And with crystals today, we brought in a nice little piece of auralite and blue aragonite. It doesn't look very blue, does it, on camera? It's more of a light green, but I really like this stone. It's a great stone for easing our emotions, especially when we have a lot of traumatic emotions that get a little stuck. These can help us to be soothed and relaxed so we can let it move through us, let us feel it. So I think both these paired together, auralite is good for meditation, or at least this in particular is meant to be a meditation stone. So, I think already there's something here about meditating on, some traumatic emotions that may be stuck in our body a little bit. But let's see what the cards bring out today. Let's see what we get to talk about. Here we go. Oh, reverse Six of Pentacles. Okay. Interesting. Let's get some more cards first here. See what's going on here. Already I'm getting a sense this might be something to do with not feeling supported, feeling a sense of lack in our lives. But let's get some more cards to get the story. There we go. Magician. What a nice card. That confident little bunny. And I love his little scarf too, instead of like the traditional magician cape. It's very cute. Yeah. I think I'm already getting an idea what this is about, but let's just see. Four of Pentacles, yeah. Already I'm seeing a story where I think whatever family or situation you were raised in when you were growing up, you were not supported. Maybe not in a material or financial sense, but I think also emotionally, physically, there was something going on where you were meant to feel a sense of lack in life. You were meant to feel like help wouldn't be offered when you needed it. And so this led to you being disempowered. You had all the ability to be the magician in your own life. You had that manifestation power. You were someone who wanted to see those things happen in the world, but you were put in this environment, and it kind of broke you down a bit to where you kind of became like that, where you were clinging to stability. Like the Four of Pentacles, a lot of times can communicate when we're kind of stuck and too focused on stability. It can be a sign of great stability coming in, but with this story here, it seems like your ability to manifest in the world and to make things happen for you was stifled by this energy in your life, and it made you become someone who had scarcity thinking, made you feel insecure, made you feel unsafe, that you had to cling to whatever came to you because you didn't feel that security that new things would come in for you, that the universe would take care of you. But it does, and deep down you know that. I think you're reclaiming that energy now. Oh, yeah, Ten of Pentacles. That's what's happening. You're reclaiming that energy to make the future you want happen. I think even maybe you were born into a family that got a little triggered by your abilities. Yeah, because they saw that light in you, and they kind of wanted to crush it, which is so frustrating. Because I don't know why people are like this, but sometimes people feel when someone has something that they don't, they feel insecure, right? Luna Lapin, yeah. You're refining your glow, your beauty, your ability to make things magical in life. Your magic, yeah. People try to stifle your magic by programming you into this belief that you have to work you have to work and sacrifice for everything, and to a certain extent you do, but you don't have to suffer to do that. Life isn't supposed to be about suffering. But you were taught that lesson, and it made you feel like it stifled your magic, because that's not being in the flow. That's not working with the universe when you don't trust the universe, right? Because it shows a lack of trust when we feel like we have to constantly control everything, that we have to constantly monitor all of our actions, hold back our actions because we can't let any slip up happen. Yeah. Yeah. You weren't supported in the right way growing up. And I think you're born in this generation of people that, like indigo children, like people that, understand this about the universe, understand how it works, and are meant to show people of the past a new way, but they were trying to crush that out of you. And this doesn't even have to be like parents or siblings. This could be just like society, because society kind of pushes that, right? This capitalist mentality that we have going on is always pushing us to cling to everything we have with our dear life, like we're going to lose it at any second. And the universe provides and takes care of us. It wants to take care of us, but we have to show that we trust it, right? For that to happen, we have to let the magic happen. We can't block it by fear, with our fear that nothing will work out for us. Yeah, you had a lot of really deep-seated programs put into you, mental programs that weren't helpful for you. But because you're unwinding that now, you're learning to make that not have so much control over your life. Your 10 of Cups is coming in. Your happiness is coming in. All the things that you've always wanted are going to be available to you now, because you're reclaiming that magician energy within you. And look, now you're your happy self, your true self. You're showing your true face to the world. You're in the glow of the moon. And I get really a strong feminine energy with this, with the moon here. Yeah, it's not just you having happiness with others. It's also happiness within yourself. You've reclaimed your magic. And, with a full moon, I think of like completion of a cycle. Like this was a whole journey for you that was meant to end this way. Like you were supposed to lose yourself and then find yourself again. Yeah. Just like the cycles of the moon goes through a dark phase and then comes back to the light. This was meant to teach you who you are. It's like we find ourselves by losing ourselves, right? This was your life's journey from childhood to adulthood. It was learning this lesson. Yeah. Let's get some more cards here. Since, I'm feeling drawn to the moon here, let's do some Moonology cards. Yeah. This was a tough journey, but I think you gained a new, like, you're much stronger than you would have been if you hadn't gone through it. And I know some people are like, I would have much rather not gone through it. But everything's for a reason. We agree to things before we come here into this life. And this was part of your soul's path, part of your soul journey. Personal issues reach resolution. Right, resolution with the full moon. And it's full moon in Cancer. And Cancer is all about family, right? The home. So maybe you're kind of, part of you overcoming this is reclaiming that energy from your family. Maybe resolving this wound with your family. Yeah, this could be a family wound that's been holding you back from your abundance because, you have all those programs attached to your family life. Or it was your family originally that put that into you. What do you need to release? Yeah, that's what you need to release. Think about it. Think about all the beliefs that your family put into you that aren't true, because you have seen magic in your own life. You've seen how manifestation works. You have that ability to make it happen. And that the universe looks out for you. It's not there to harm you. It's not you're trying to survive the universe. The universe is trying to help you survive by putting the right things in your path. You understand that now. And the belief that it didn't have your back was what was making it so hard. Show the world the real you. Yeah. You're not going to let, because part of this is your personality was suppressed. That part of yourself that could manifest. It was also personality suppression, right? like pushing down the real you, you know, taking on a different face for your family, and assimilating their beliefs. That's what, you know, put you out of the flow, put you out of your timeline that you were meant to be in. You know, they kind of pushed you in there, but now you're pushing back. Have faith in your dreams. Yeah. You're having faith in your dreams, and by extension, the universe that's going to help you make it happen. Yeah. Your dreams are going to come true because you know now. You know how to make them happen. You're not going to let this energy hold you back. You're not going to cling to stability. You're going to take chances. You're going to surrender to the universe and let it catch you. I also see this Four of Pentacles. It's about the old way that you were, or the way that you were programmed to be. But I also see it as like, you are going to find stability now in this life that's coming for you. There's going to be new great things in your life that you're never going to feel that sense of scarcity or instability or lack. That's over now. Sorry, I just had to snap my fingers. Yeah, maybe it's sort of like, you know, a joint that really needs to crunch. You're letting that energy release now. Yeah, because you need to release it and show the world the real you. Maybe that's showing yourself to your family as well. Showing them what you can do. Showing them that you don't buy into their beliefs. Like, their beliefs are their beliefs, but it's not what you want or what you believe. So you're gonna be able to stand on your own. Yeah, like this money, he's showing himself and he's standing firmly in front of it. He's proud of it. He's not going to let others sway him from being who he is. And I'm just noticing here we got full moon, waning moon, full moon, waxing crescent. Right? So like the full moon, which was with the family, and then that cycle ended, you released it, and then it came into a new full moon. It's almost like a complete moon cycle. You see, if this were a new moon, it would be perfect, but I feel like, you know, it's kind of showing that you came into a new self. It's showing the cycle that we were just talking about when I brought up that completion here. Yeah, you're letting go of what needs to release, and now the full moon is building up with your dreams. Because you're seeing the light, you're seeing what can be, you're seeing potential, not lack. And that's such a great mindset shift, because that changes everything. It changes our vibration, and our vibration makes the matrix happen, right? And it forms everything material around us, right? It's just a reflection of our own vibration that we're putting out. And when we shift it to the right vibration, in the future, the timeline that we want, we get what we want, right? That's how it works. Oh, I have one card really wants to come out here. Fierce love, Kali, yeah. Fierce love for the universe, fierce love for yourself. I love this. Because Kali's got this chaotic energy, right? She like cuts off your head to teach you. And it's very much like the death card. But it's like, you know, sometimes the tower has to fall for something new to grow. She like cuts off your head to, you know, give you new awareness. So it's almost like knocking someone over the head to like knock sense into them, right? And it seems violent, but at the same time, it's actually needed. It's necessary. And Kali's bringing in that energy for you. But fierce love makes me think of like, you know, you're learning how to channel your love towards yourself, and that's what's making all the difference. And the universe also has a fierce love for you, and that's what they're bringing in. Yeah. Passion. And they're not going to let you fail. Yeah, no apologies. There's no apologies with Kali. And you're learning to be unapologetically yourself. And that's what's shifting it, shifting the reality. She's a fierce warrior. She reminds you that destruction and creation go hand in hand, right? So maybe it's sort of the destruction of these old beliefs, old relationships and patterns, maybe to do with your family, and maybe that's why they've been clinging on, because it's hard to let go of family. It's hard to, and you don't have to necessarily not communicate. It can also be just letting go of our idea of them, of our respect for them, or maybe even our the image we had in our heads of them. Maybe that we just put them on their beliefs on a pedestal, and now we're realizing, oh, they actually held me back. They're not so great. Or maybe they don't actually know what they're doing. Maybe I know better. And maybe that sounds arrogant, but sometimes it's true, right? Sometimes our family is our greatest obstacle that's holding us back from what we need to accomplish. And it's not that anyone's evil. It's just that they aren't living our lives, but they're trying to, right? They're trying to control it, and that's what's blocking it. And she helps you through difficult situations. So maybe if Kali resonates with you, you can call her on to be a fierce warrior for you in a difficult situation. Yeah. The question with Kali is, what stops you from taking a stand? Act from love rather than fear, and say, I am fierce love. Fierce love for myself. I'm not going to let myself be bullied or pushed around. Yeah. Kali's a pretty good ally. You'd feel pretty empowered if you had her standing beside you while you stood up for yourself. Oh my. So, just imagine that if you're going through something difficult, or you're afraid to stand up for yourself, maybe to your family. There's a card on the floor here I'm drawn to. Non-greed. Aparigraha. Oh gosh, I can't say it. Aparigraha. Aparigraha. That's how I'm going to say it. Number 6, non-greed. This little chipmunk trying to stuff everything in his mouth. Yeah. Maybe your family was kind of greedy with your energy and they weren't letting it flourish and thrive. But maybe there's also a warning here to No, I think it is actually your the energies that were in your life. If it's not family, it was something else like this, but yeah, it's like the attachment to money and items, like clinging so tightly to something that you don't want to let go, and that's what blocks flow. It blocks things from happening. You're learning how to unprogram yourself from that. It could represent the energies of your family that you're letting go of, or just the things that were put into you, that scarcity thinking where you have to cling to things. Take everything you can and don't waste a dime. Sometimes it's just like, it's good to be frugal, but ooh. The stream of smoke coming out from that was really interesting. It was sort of like a spiral. Yeah, there's definitely a flow to life. Things, there's always cycles. We go a flow of excess and excess, and we have to surrender that flow. We can't keep it consistent all the time, right? Now, 3 cards popped out here, and they just flowed in a certain way that I have to look at them. So let's see. We got purity. Can we fit these in here? Maybe? I don't know. Let's try. Let's try and fit it. Move our bunny cards up. And our moon cards down. We'll see if we can fit them. We've got Purity, Satya. And then Anulam Vilom Pranayama, energy purification breath. And we have Bhastrika Pranayama, bellows breath. Yeah. You're definitely purifying yourself of these beliefs and toxic programs that held you back, and you're spreading your wings to fly. It's awakening everything, really, because you've got your chakra system here aligning and waking up. And then you have bellows breath here with the crane, and it's like you're taking flight. Yeah. Pure, there's a lot of sticky, toxic energy from this scarcity thinking, this clinging energy. Clinging to money, clinging to things, clinging to people and places. The universe doesn't want you to do that. It wants you to flow with the change, go with the new. Because sometimes life calls us to shift and change. And if we're resistant to it, that's what causes suffering, right? That's what causes all the pain. So, it's just better to go with life's flow. And this is everything that you're waking up within you. And, there's a message about nature here to purify. So maybe when you're feeling that overwhelm, because, sometimes, especially if it's family, we can't exactly extract them from our life unless we're like no contact, which sometimes that's necessary, right? So you do you, whatever suits you best. But, we have to purify ourselves constantly if we're being exposed to that, right? Because they can try to reinsert those programs and beliefs into us, but it doesn't work for us, right? I think you're purifying yourself through your own alignment. I have a little heater beside me. I gotta turn it up. So cold. November's bringing in all that cold chill, huh? Yeah. You've got purity and then energy purification breath. So, you're being purified. You're being reawakened. Like you got the magician here, and then you got these chakra alignments with your kundalini, opening your third eye. Well, in this case, it's your crown, but, I think it's your spiritual connection to the divine, to see how the universe works in your favor, how the universe wants to collaborate with you, co-create with you. And maybe there's a message in here with the bellows breath. Just breathe through it. If you have something difficult you have to face, and maybe it's your family that's trying to hold you back, trying to bring you back down to reality, which doesn't work for you anymore. Call on Kali, call on, your ability to be stable, to take a deep breath and ground yourself. Something bad's happening, just breathe through it. Rest and breathe through it. The universe is going to bring you what you need when you need it. Well, not exactly when you need it, but sometimes it takes a little bit. But you'll never be without. I think you understand that now. You're never going to be in lack anymore because you understand lack comes from the belief that lack is what's real, right? You're undoing all that poison that got put into you as a child. And reclaiming your power. Yeah, Kali's all about power. You have the power of Kali within you. To be fierce, to be a warrior for yourself, a warrior of love. That's how you're going to face this challenge and stand up to, those energies, is to have love for yourself. If you have to tell someone something or set a boundary, think of it as loving yourself. This is about self-love. This isn't about reacting to someone's toxicity or someone's, attempt to have control over us. Yeah, because we had the aragonite, blue aragonite, and that's all about easing us through tough emotions. It really matches the sacha, doesn't it? The colors, like they're almost exact, right? You see that? It's practically blending in. That's wild. Yeah, and it's with purity. So you're being purified from these emotions that were poisoning you from the past. I think there's some big trauma here around security, feeling secure, feeling like you can receive what you need. Like your needs weren't met in your early life, and it blocked your manifestations. But now it's all coming back, and that can be overwhelming. That can be, you're gonna have to process a lot of emotions. There's grief to process, but if you breathe through it, keep yourself steady, you're going to purify yourself. You're going to become who you're meant to be. You're going to reclaim all that power. Yeah, and most of all, you'll be balanced. You'll be in balance with the universe. Yeah, because this card asks you, where's your energy blocked? That's the question. And what is your truth? So I think you're understanding the blockages now. You're understanding how to unwind them. You're learning how to breathe through the chaos, through the uncertainty. You know that you can make your dreams come true. And you can stand on business. You can stand your ground and not let others tell you what's reality. You know what's reality. You've seen it for yourself. And you know what's best for you, better than anybody else would. How could someone else know what's good for us? We know what's good for us. And people can give us advice, but a lot of times, it's just advice, and people can be controlling, especially people that have vested interest in us, or they want to take our energy, gain something from control over us. And, with Bella's breath, we got the Orlight here for meditation. I just think, that could be really helpful right now if you're feeling that overwhelmed. If someone's trying to trigger you or is saying something or doing something to you that just is so unjust and so infuriating, take these big breaths, breathe from your belly, really expand your belly, not your chest, because we often do that. We often breathe shallowly from our chest, but we're supposed to take deep breaths from our belly. Because when we get overwhelmed and we get put into a heightened state of frantic energy, that's when others get control over us, or we lose that attachment, or we lose that connection rather to our ability to co-create with the universe, to manifest our dreams. So don't let them take that away from you, even if it's just thoughts in your head or memories in your head. Don't allow them that control. And let the universe show you what it can create for you. Because sometimes we think we want something, but we don't actually, like, the universe can have a better idea of what we need, right? So sometimes we have to relax into that and let it show us what it can provide. And especially if we get really attached to a certain outcome, that's what blocks manifestation as well. If we want something so specific, sometimes the universe says no, because that's not for us. And we don't have the capacity to understand why. So the universe just has to say no for now. And sometimes it's just a no for now. Like, it's not a no forever. It's just not right now because you're not ready. And, because maybe if you try to hold that energy and you're not ready, it would dissolve and then the opportunity would be lost. It's all about timing, right? The right time, the perfect time for things to happen. They all unfold exactly when they're meant to. So let the universe show you. Let it show you how it's meant to be. I think with family or whatever environment you were raised in, there was a real strong sense of control over you and control over circumstances. So Like maybe your parents were just trying to always like micromanage your life, helicopter parent, or just always like say what was real. Say, well, if you do this, this will happen. Like never allowing things to have possibility. Always saying like they were God, like they knew everything, but they didn't. They just wanted to decide everything, right? And direct everything in your life. So you're letting go of that energy. You're not letting that energy dictate your life anymore. You're allowing life to show you what's meant for you. And that's part of that is showing up as the real you, showing those people that you're not going to believe that anymore. You're not going to give in to those beliefs. You're going to stand on your own. And maybe that will be teaching to them as well. Maybe it can show them where their beliefs have gotten in their own way, right? Non-greed. Parigraha. It's a hard one to say. I feel kind of like the chipmunk with the nuts in his mouth trying to say it. Actually, maybe there's a message there. Maybe that's part of it. You blocked your own voice, right? Because he's got his mouth stuffed full here and he can't speak. So maybe you weren't heard as a child. Like your voice was pushed down and you weren't allowed to speak your truth. And you kind of carried that habit with you into the future. But now it's time to let it go and show the real you. Release that burden, release that program, release that habit, right? It's so funny, the contrast, because he's got his mouth full, but then Kali's sticking out her tongue. It's like he was stuffing down his feelings, stuffing down what he wanted, and you know, being a good little chipmunk, which is often how it's not, you know, that's often how childhood goes, right? We're kind of powerless, right? So we kind of fall in line, and there's nothing wrong with that. But with Kali, she's audacious. She shows who she is, and she's like, nah, that's how it is. Sorry. And that's kind of the journey you've been on to become that. And that is amazing. That is amazing because that's so hard. Not everybody succeeds doing that. Some people stay like the mouth, like the chipmunk with their mouth stuffed full their whole lives, and they never speak up for themselves. They never learn that. But you were learning that. You were learning how to stand on your own and stand up for yourself with fierce love for yourself. That's the key. If you love yourself enough, you're not going to let yourself be put through that. You're not going to let others tell you what to do. You're not going to let others control your happiness. Have that audaciousness like Kali. And, you know, everything's going to unfold from there. And that's going to bring you to your 10 of Cups. Be like the Luna Lapin. Show your face. Stand proud of your moon. Yeah. All right. I think that's the end of the reading. You know, I think this was a really great message. You know, stand on your own and stand fiercely for yourself. Like, who else is going to stand up for you but you, right? You're the only one that can do it. You have to do it. Because, you know, you'll end up in a future you're dissatisfied with. But I think you're going to do it, because I think that's what this whole reading was about, is that was the journey you were on, and that's the lesson you learned. So, you know, be proud. Have fierce love and pride. Well, maybe not pride, but like, not like overzealous pride, but like, yeah, be proud of yourself for going on that journey and learning all those lessons. That's not easy. It's not. You know, have empathy and love for yourself for going on that journey, especially from childhood, to unlearn our childhood wounds. Yeah, it's not easy. So be proud and be loving. All right, that's the end of the reading. So I hope you liked it. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. And if you want, you can like the video or leave a comment to say how it resonated. I love reading your comments, so I'm always encouraging of that. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.